everybody. This is our very first ever first look game video. Is the game that everyone's been waiting for this year. The beta's just it's out now kind of thing. Came out on Thursday. It's Destiny. And yeah, it's the game that's kind of gonna make or break PlayStation, I would say, this year, seeing as they're releasing a whole new console for it. At this moment in time, it's not out on Xbox at the moment. So obviously, I've got a few friends that are just there like, I want to come around and play it, and it's just like, no, you have to wait because you chose the wrong console and you suck. But basically, this game, I've played it probably from Friday onwards to today, because obviously it's a 10 gig download. You've got to actually manage to finally get yourself onto the PlayStation Store in the first place. On the Thursday, it was down for maintenance every 10 minutes. It was ridiculous. And every time I'd get the code in, I was like, right, I've got it now. It's done. I can just let it download. I'd go out and it'd download and it'd be fine.
The travel.
And it would say that it was down for maintenance again. And by the time I got it, I was so pissed off that I nearly just thought, you know what, screw it, I'm not going to bother. But I kept going. I managed to get it. I downloaded the game file. Didn't realise it was a download within the game as well. So I was like, right, I've got it. It was a quick download. I'll play it when I get home. Came home. Oh shit, there's a 10 gigabyte download. Great. So I couldn't actually play it as soon as I thought it was going to be. But I have got it now, and I remember when I first saw the demos and stuff for this game 2 years ago now at E3, and I was just there like, yeah, it looks good, but it's by the makers of Halo, so I don't know what it's going to be like, because I'm not really a massive Halo fan, to be honest. It's very different. There's a couple of games, if you kind of mix Halo with Mass Effects, and like there's little bits of like DC Heroes in there, and then you mix like Space Engineers and stuff like that. If you push that into one game, you get Destiny, and it shocked me. I can't wait for it to come out, like full edition in September now. It's a lot different to what I thought it was going to be. There's a lot more elements to it than I originally thought there would be. I thought it would just be a kind of quite similar to COD, straight to the nail storyline, and kind of better online system. Obviously we're playing multiplayer online story mode at the moment, so it's kind of a little bit different, but I don't know if that's gonna stay the same for the official release, because whereas we are seeing like the story kind of unfold at the beginning in the beta, it is online. I have seen like a few other players just kind of roaming around and killing shit, so I don't know if that's going to change with the official release in September, but we will see. The game itself, I mean, obviously while I've been talking about all that, there's been some pretty cutscenes and stuff like that. When the game was first advertised, when it was mainly advertised, it was with all the cutscene graphics, and it looked very beautiful. It looked like a beautiful game, but it was kind of like, oh, I want to see gameplay, blah blah blah. They don't actually have that much cutscene within the actual game, so how they managed to recycle the same stuff over and over again into trailers, I will never know. But there's two kind of like main beginning cutscenes, then you just go straight into gameplay, and that's it. There's nothing else. So I don't know what they kept using, unless it was just like mini snips from each kind of cutscene. But yeah, the game itself, I mean, when you start off, you get a character, and you can choose what gender it is. You can choose what kind of race you want to fight as. I think there's 3. There's a warlock, and there's another one. I chose to be a warlock, and you can kind of customize the whole face of it. You can have a human face, you can have a warlock face, you can have like a helmet face, that kind of thing. You can customise the hair, the eyes, the markings on the face, the colour of the markings on the face. But that's pretty much it. I mean, I wasn't expecting it to be customisable at all, so I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. So that's where it's kind of like, you kind of have like the online aspect of story mode, which means it might be in the Elite version. I don't know, I can't make my mind up, but it's kind of like your story mode is going on with your customised character while others are in their story mode. It's weird, but it works, because if you're in a load of shit and there's someone else there, they normally come and help you out. They're normally pretty helpful. But basically you start off on Earth, and that is another thing that surprised me, because I was like, oh, it's aliens and stuff, we'll be on like Mars or something. But we're on Earth, and it's been taken over by these kind of alien races and this darkness and stuff like that. And it's supposed to be set in the future, and your character is a character that died and has been brought back. Well, that's what we're assuming anyway.
Is it possible?
And you kind of, as a warlock, you have like a magic boost of power, that kind of thing. And when you start off, that's the only weapon you have. You don't start with a weapon. You get one quite early on, like as soon as the first lot of alien things are about to come and get you. But you don't actually start with a weapon, which is, I like it when it's like that, because you have to kind of rush to find one straight away, otherwise you are going to get killed. So that's pretty cool. So you get your first weapon, and then you kind of have like loot crates, like you do in any standard game, where you can look through them and find stuff. And there you find another weapon. It's a special weapon. It's like a futuristic shotgun, I guess. It's got some kind of special power that is personal to the race you are, I guess. It's your special weapon. So I suppose if you were one of the other races, you would have a different gun. But I don't know if that's true, so let me know.
We won't survive long out in the open.
It's just
Let's get inside the walls.
Kind of like, I really don't know what I was expecting. Obviously, because it's the beta and it's not the full release, and it's had such a massive hype up, and I've seen so much of so little of it that I was like, oh, I don't know whether I'm going to bother, I don't know whether it's going to be good, that kind of thing. But if we'd actually seen some kind of like gameplay trailer, it would have been a lot better.
Okay, I need to find you a weapon before
because it's a fantastic game. The graphics behind it, like Bungie have worked their asses off on it. It looks absolutely fantastic. Obviously, you've got all the different planets. You've got the ships. There's three, possibly four kinds of villain I've bumped into. There's a captain, there's a Drake, and then there's another one in between. I can't remember what it's called. And above the captain there was like a massive boss for the first level, but normally when you're playing a level, once you defeat the captain, that's the end of the level. But it doesn't actually stop the level, which is really cool. You can kind of like, you've got like 10 seconds or something to go and just have a quick like run around the map to pick up any ammo and stuff that got dropped. Because obviously the aliens and stuff, they are constantly dropping ammo every time you kill them. And it seems to happen more when you use your warlock power as a warlock, obviously. So I don't know if that's true for the other characters, but when you use the magic pushback thing, the blue orby thingy that pushes them back, and is surprisingly powerful. It kills everyone but a captain just like straight away, which is weird because like, this is not a gun, this is just some little magic picky thing, and they're dead. So normally they get dropped with that, but I reckon that's probably because they haven't had a chance to shoot at you and you just kind of run up to their face and smacked them with some magic. So that might be why that is. The kind of level system is very I don't really know how to describe it. It's kind of like you've got your online, you've got your story. They've kind of been mushed together, I assume you could go and do levels with friends online if you want, but there is like a standard like computer generated story that you can go to when you need to, so there's no real order in what to do things. At the moment we're set in Russia, obviously on Earth, trying to modify the ship so that we can go to other planets. Now I can't stress this enough, I really liked the idea that they did start on Earth, because when the cutscene at the beginning played out, it was the astronauts coming on to Mars. So I was like, oh, it's going to just be another planet and you have to come back and save Earth and all that shit. But in this game, Earth's already fucked. You can't save it. The only thing you can do is try and regain some control over the darkness that's come over it. Obviously this massive force that was controlling it before, like this good force that was controlling it and keeping order before, has been damaged, and there's nothing they can do. So when it started on Earth, I was like, it surprised me, because
Let's see what's inside.
that's not normally the case within games. Normally you kind of start on another planet, you have to try and find your way back to Earth and then save the day, end of the game, blah blah blah. But you start on Earth, aware that it's completely just
Chipmunks!
fucked,
Don't touch them.
all you can do is try and restore some kind of order, and fight, because you're basically you are a guardian, and you're supposed to be protecting what is left and trying to rebuild some kind of order. So when you come up against these enemies, they're obviously enemies of the darkness and stuff like that, so they all kind of fight within their darkness places, and it's very intense. Like, I mean, they've done a fantastic job with the soundtrack. It's kind of like it's very cinematic movie, space film, like Star Trekky. Reminded me a bit of Core, Independence Day, that kind of thing. The soundtrack is like that, and it works, because when you're going into this massive battle and you've got all these things coming at you, it really speeds up. And it's just, I don't know. And it's just, I really can't describe it. It's really not what I thought it was going to be. It's a hell of a lot better. Those people that have been comparing it to Halo are going to be completely mind blown, because it's nothing like Halo at all. Just obviously because it's made by the same people, they assume, oh, it's just going to be like a PlayStation, but it's not at all. The hyper-realistic graphics for characters, even though they're aliens, is phenomenal. The backgrounds and the environment graphics are insane. You've got stuff like the Northern Lights, you've got like all these kind of monumental places within Russia, you've got space, you've got spaceships, you've got this kind of like landing cutscene every time you go to a new mission, and that you just kind of like hovering above the earth, and that's incredible. And it's just I can't place where this game comes in the amount of games that are coming out this year, because it wasn't the most exciting one for me. I know it's the game, like, I know it is for me personally as well, but it is also the game that everyone's been waiting to see, because it's been like delayed for well, it's not been delayed, but it's been in production for so long. We've known about it for 2.5 years. So it's the game that everyone's been looking forward or waiting to just see what it's like, and it's gonna shock people. I can't imagine Halo fans actually liking it, for being honest, because it's just
a little
in
bit
Halo you
further.
get your Master Chief and you just
Let's
go
hope
around and
there's
shoot
something
shit.
left out there.
It's not like that at all. You have this little robot triangle-y thing, and you have to go around and you kind of have to format, and you kind of have to scan through all of this technology that's been left by other people and been left by and tampered by aliens, in order to rebuild your ship and in order to try and
This was
figure
an
out
old
what's happened. Because
Cosmodrome.
obviously you died,
There's got to be
and
something.
you missed the
going on.
time period where the darkness kind of took over this good thing that was happening, like all this order had happened, and you've missed all the kind of
Fallen
bad
ships,
stuff
this
that's
close
happened.
to the surface.
So you've woken back up,
Move.
and all of a sudden, there's aliens everywhere. There's one stable city within Earth, like the whole of the planet, and I don't know, there just seems like there's a lot more actually behind it than there's ever been in any Halo game. I mean, it's not like one of these games where, like, obviously they've promoted the online for this very heavily, and it's not like one of these games where you can say, oh, the online's great, but the story mode is shit. Like, a bit like COD, really. It's not like that at all. Purely because at the moment, online mode seems to be also story mode, so I don't know if that's going to change or whatever. But, I mean, yeah, as a whole, it's just it just looks and feels and sounds and just is a fantastic game. And when I kind of first loaded up the beta after the trouble I had with downloading it, I was hooked straight away. And you get so into the fight scenes within it, because you kind of start off with a few like enemies coming at you and you're like, yeah, that's alright, and then you send your little robot thing off to do what it does, and it kind of formats or scans a piece of technology, and then all of a sudden while that's doing that, you get like 100 fucking dregs come at you, 2 captains, and then all these other little ones in between, and I'm just there, like, you get these little stupid robots as well. I think they're called are they called Shanks or something like that? I think the little red robots that fly around, they're fucking lethal, so first chance you get, shoot them, because they're more lethal than the actual aliens, obviously, because they're coming closer to you. They can also be defeated with said magic hand push of blue goodness. So yeah, I mean, when you look at kind of like a Destiny poster and you see it, like the characters looking up at this kind of planet-like thing, that planet-like thing, the white kind of orb, like round planet-like thing, I can't really describe it, is supposed to be like the goodwill order that has kept everything kind of intact for the last however many 100 years, and that's obviously been damaged or is tired or something, I can't remember what it is. And you've got this group of Guardians, obviously you're only one of God knows how many, just trying to sort shit out, really. And I really can't put into words how much this game shocked me. Obviously it is only the beta. We're expecting a lot better things from the well, not just better, but we're expecting smoother, I should say, from the final release in September. Because at the moment, the only thing that I picked up on that I didn't really feel was necessary, obviously it might be necessary because it's such a big game, but the amount of loading just between cutscenes, and then the cutscenes start at the same place the previous one ended, and then there's cutscene between gameplay, and the gameplay started off where the cutscene ended. It's weird. But apart from the tremendous amount of loading at the beginning of the game, which, to be fair, doesn't happen half the time after that, it just completely wipes out and it's fine. Apart from that, I really can't put anything to fault on this game already. I mean, it's got like anti-gravity, it's got, like, you can tell you're not human just by how you're using your weapon and how you're walking, despite the fact you could not look at your character. You're right, you could be given a character,
Clear him out.
and play as that character without looking at it, because obviously you're playing in first person view, and there is a way to kind of have like a quick 5-second view of your character. But if you didn't do that, then you can tell you're not playing as a human because of how it moves. And for Bungie to be able to just distinguish what kind of race you are playing as purely by feeling and seeing how the character is moving on screen without actually seeing them like personally is incredible, because obviously they've all got different walks and they're not walking like humans, and you know they're not walking like humans. So the amount of characterization they've got within the character you play as is fantastic. It is a mind-blowing game. It is going to change. It is going to change gaming. This game, I'm more than happy to confirm that for my own personal views. It's going to change the way we think about gaming. It's going to change the way games look. It's going to change the way games sound. It's going to change the way we play games. I can't see there being many more games where you have a separate story and a separate online. If this full game in September comes out and the story and online modes, if the story is online, then I can't see there being many more games. Maybe it'll take a year or something, where you have a separate online mode for the story and your story mode is not online. I can't see that staying around for much longer. Obviously they'll get all of the games that they've already got planned out, and then when it comes to redesigning new games again, for next year's Christmas rush or whatever, then I can't see there being many separate stories, which is kind of sad, because I personally appreciate a good storyline to a good online. I appreciate a game that's got more effort into the story, because that's what you play it for. And especially PlayStation players, obviously with them more powerful, you've got more capability to play stories in better quality. Whereas Xbox are kind of based around their whole online system. PlayStation aren't dependent on their online, and they are, as a PlayStation gamer, I find it better to play the PlayStation offline in story mode by myself. That is it. No one around, no one else in my kind of world, apart from obviously the enemies within the single player game. So it is going to be weird. It is going to be a kind of give or take. Maybe there won't be kind of all online multiplayer stories kind of thing, but I can see more of it happening. And I guess that's it really. We'll just have to see, because obviously we've got a lot of fantastic games coming out just before and just after Christmas, and then we got some ready for next year as well. So Destiny's coming out in September, guys. If you haven't played the beta, I do have 2 codes. I have 2 PlayStation Europe codes. I've heard that the PlayStation codes work on 3 and 4 regardless. Obviously, I downloaded it onto a PlayStation 4, but I have heard it doesn't matter. As long as you've got a PlayStation code, it will work on 3 and 4. If you watch this video and you want one of them codes, drop a like, or drop your name, or comment, or whatever, into the comment box on this video. It's going to be on Facebook, it's going to be on YouTube, it's going to be on Twitter. So the first one between all of that, or the first 2 between all of them, will get a Destiny beta code. I can't remember how much longer this game has left on beta. I don't think it's long, so you guys, if you want it, you have to hurry up, because it's a big ass download. So like I say, I've got 2 codes. If you want them, drop me a message. I will hand you over the codes, and you can play some Destiny, the game that is going to be changing gaming as we know it into something that is going to be very controversial, something that's going to be different, but ultimately I can see it's going to be better. And that is the only way I can describe the effect that Destiny is going to have on the gaming market. It is going to make everything bigger, it's going to make everything better. And if you've played Destiny, then you will know the feels I'm having right now, because I can't get over how good this game is. But like I said, I've got 2 codes. If you want them, if you want to try it, just drop me a message, you can have one. But other than that, walkthroughs and shit will be continuing tomorrow, maybe, if I'm not playing Destiny. They should do. Apologies for the lack of videos this week. We've had really crappy storms here, so it's been a bit dodgy leaving all my computer and stuff on, so I haven't managed to record and edit like overnight and while I've been out like I used to, because if a storm hits while I'm out, my computer's on, I don't want to fuck up my computer. So that's the reasoning behind that. Sorry in advance if it happens again. We got a big recording session coming up next week, obviously. We got a name change coming up. We've got theme changes coming up. We got changes everywhere coming up. It's very exciting. We got a couple of new hosts to introduce to you guys. You've met them before, but they're going to be official hosts on the channels as of about 2 or 3 weeks' time. And that's pretty much it. Stay tuned for some more Destiny footage. I'll probably upload some more here and there. Stay tuned for the walkthroughs that are coming up. Stay tuned for all the changes, guys. And as always, stay classy, gamers.
Welcome to the last safe city on Earth, the only place the Traveler can still protect. It took centuries to build. Now, we're counting every day it stands. And this tower is where the Guardians live.
Close bounty. One Horn Devils captain. Sierra del Vasco.
Oh dear, what is that? Greetings to you, Warlock.
The Hive haven't been on Earth in centuries. The darkness could be a lot closer than we think. We should probably get moving. The Vanguard's reporting that Fallen are tearing into machines all over the Cosmodrome. I'm starting to think they aren't just looting the place. Whatever they're looking for, we should probably find it first. I'm picking up heavy Fallen activity near the Forgotten Shore, but that's miles from here. Guardians set up a vehicle grid here. We sync to that. We can summon ground transport from our ship. Let's go. Here's the Sparrow link.
Encoding superposed states, entangling ket vectors, and we're late.
All right. If you want to get your Sparrow, we can be in the Forgotten Shore in seconds.